So having already flown several circuits with David, and they were very nice, we're just talking about the finer details of reminding what it's going to feel like to lift by himself, and where I'm going to stand, and some of the sort of arm signals I might give to him. We were also, hot day, we were just trying to wait for the cylinder temperature to come down, because the ground was so, it was actually one of our summer days, and so much heat coming off the ground, and we've been hovering quite a lot that the cylinder temperature was relatively high, so we just wound it back down to about 420 rotor RPM, just down to that sort of optimum cooling to get rid of some of the cylinder temperature. That's me just getting the handheld radio ready. David looks nice and relaxed. Time to get out. We have to be really careful of the controls, not so much the side click, because of course with the lever down it's not going to do anything, but the collective lever, and in particular the throttle as well. As we climb out we have to be careful we don't sort of slide down the throttle and wind it on. There we are, governor off, back up to flight idle, friction's off. Door back on the cord for David, because let's say it was pretty hot. Now the camera lens makes it look like I'm a long way away. I'm a good sort of about 50 foot in front of him. And feedback from the students is that it really works really well, because not so much that I'm giving them that much guidance of any descriptions, I just don't need it, but what it does do is it helps remind them just to look up, not to look down inside the cockpit or straight down at the grass in front of them, which is a very natural thing to do. So it's just doing his call at the moment, just letting the tower know that student pilots in Helicopter Echo Tail is ready to lift. They've obviously read back to him about runway direction for the fixed wing. QFE, it's all looking good. So I'm just sort of giving David the signal with my arms just slowly moving up. Just like take your time. And yeah, there he is. Very nicely done. It's good to see there was no yaw to the left when he lifted, so he had enough right pedal in there. Dave's making another radio call just to say he's ready for circuit more. I think from memory there was either a helicopter just approaching from behind, or a plane, a fixed wing that's just doing a touch and go, or something along those lines. So just held him for a moment, that's why he's waiting. For obvious reasons, we just like there to be no other traffic in the way whatsoever. So we've got a lovely clear run. Off he goes. Nice standard transition, building his speed, just passing 40 knots. Up and away he goes. Looking good. turn to the left, of course, to avoid the bigger bushes and trees and whatnot. And then there's a house just over on the right hand side, and the pub, of course, not to fly over those. Very cool. It's good to see he hasn't lost any airspeed, because that's a real classic on a first solo, because the helicopter can climb a bit quicker than you expect. It tends to pitch a little more nose up on the climb out. As we fall and all the students watch it, you might lose a bit of airspeed on the way up. So keep a little eye on that. But no, it looks like he's done a good job there. See him having a good look around, so he's not forgotten anything. And I wouldn't expect, I mean, David's a very experienced pilot. He's just effectively on his crosswind. We don't really get a chance to level out it, as in straighten up. It's just crosswind straight into downwind, because we've got quite a tight circuit of Elstree in the helicopters. Only 750 feet. It barely takes about 6 minutes to fly around, as we'll see. Avoid all the neighbours. See him retrimming the cycling there to take off any unwanted force on it, so that's good. But he's well tuned to the aircraft. Height and speed looking spot on, nice, very nice indeed. So he's already over halfway downwind now in the heli circuit. And of course, pre-first solo prep, we've forewarned them that you're X amount of kilos. So if I've just hopped out, you're 68 kilos lighter. So it's not going to want to descend quite the same it normally does. It will come down a bit slower if you attempt to use, for instance, the same power setting. So we normally encourage everybody to just make sure they begin that descent before they turn onto that base leg. You can see that David is already, he's just got a little rate descent on the go, that's nice. Southbound down the M1. Electricity power station just on the left hand side, so wait till we go past that. There it is, you can just about see it there. Really don't want to fly over the top of it, it's not a good idea. Some might say shocking. And then on to final. Avoiding, just being kind to the neighbours. Farm on the right, so we tend to fly just as you can see on the left hand side, so not right over the top of it. Okay, first of all, threat and error management will be sensible. It does mean we come in, we always end up approaching the north side grass at an angle. No big deal for us, it's okay. You don't have to be in line with the runway, it's not a big problem. Some lovely markings cut on the grass, thanks to Tony, because the grass was getting incredibly long. In fact, it's just about to be cut for hay. Tony's been out there. Nice, smooth, steady approach. Gently bleeding off the speed and the height. Minimal rate of descent, no risk of vortex ring. Dave's just retrimming the cycling for the hover, so there'll be no unwanted force. I'm down there somewhere. Hey, there I am. And of course the briefing will be is, if possible, just approach back to the original spot you've just taken off from, because we'll have spent a little bit of time finding a really nice spot on the grass that sort of matches the attitude of the helicopter, just to really help make it a super first lift and first solo. And David's just doing the usual, just holding for a moment, just composing. It's just bringing him forwards because it's quite uneven out there. And I think if from where I stood, it looked like he was possibly hovering over a little bit of a bump. So I thought I'd just bring him forward to be certain he's clear of it. Again, standing in front does help when landing, just to try and make sure your eyes don't drop down in front of the helicopter. And yeah, very nice soft landing. Excellent. Job done. See me just there catching a few crafty photos for him, of course, because we want to commemorate and remember that experience. Not this is David's first solo, but certainly in a helicopter it is. And he was still just as excited about it as I do believe his very first solo I'm not sure if it was a fixed wing or glide, his first solo. But either the same, he was chuffed, to say the least. There you go, big smile, say cheese. And good to see he's still guarding the controls. Didn't let the moment distract him from staying in control. He's got the cyclic between his knees, so that's good. Left hand on the collective, fabulous. He's just telling me about it now. And it's back to the flying school for tea and medals.
Radio's off. Try to stop straight off radio transponder to the times in a second. Go off. What is that, this one? GoPro going on. Hooray! That's